Hello everybody, PokeKid here, and I apologize for not making a video last week. I was just kind of caught up in my everyday life. I was pretty busy, but I just wanted to say, to make up for that, I went to 2 LCs and I'm going to do a deck review on the 2 different decks that I played for those LCs, as well as one other deck that I considered that is very close to the deck that I played in the first LC. So, get straight into this. So, the deck I played for the first LC, Yanmega Vespi. This is the deck that I considered for the first LC. So, I really like this deck. It's very, very consistent. Some people think Vespiqueen and Night March are junk with Battle Compressor, but they're really not. It's pretty good. Night March is complete though. But Vespiqueen is really good now. Or it's worse, but it's still good. So you run it with a 4-3-2 line of Yanmega break. And you run 2 Shaman. Now you could run 3-4, which normal Vespiqueen decks run. I only 2. You only need 2. Because you run a 2-2 line of Octillery, which we'll get into later. You run 4 Klefki. Now, if you don't know, Klefki's Wonderlock. Once during your turn, before you attack, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard all cards attached to this Pokemon and attach it to one of your Pokemon as a Pokemon tool card. Prevent any damage done to this Pokemon this card is attached to by attacks from your opponent's Mega Evolution Pokemon. And then it gets discarded at the end of your opponent's next turn. So, it's really good against Speed Ray or Mega Mewtwo. And then you run 4-4 combi. What I used to run was a 3-3 line of Vespiqueen and then 4-4-3. But I thinned the Yanmega line and made it 4-4 Vespi just to revolve this deck a bit more around Vespiqueen and less Yanmega. So you run a 1-1 line of Ariados. This is really good. So you can hit 110 with Barrier Break or hitting those pesky little like extra hit of damage against megas. So then we have the 4-3-2 line of Yanmega break. So Yamana, it has Scout, pretty it's not good, but your opponent reveals his or her hand, and then you run Yanmega, which has the ability Sonic Vision, which is the only reason why this or Yanmega break is even good. If you have exactly 4 cards in your hand, ignore all energy in the attack cost of each of this Pokemon's attacks. So, if you have 4 cards in your hand, Assault Boom costs 0 energy, which is really good. So what Assault Boom does for 50, if your opponent's active Pokemon has a Pokemon tool card attached to it, this attack does 70 more damage, which is, if my math serves me correct, 130. Oh, and yeah, 130. It's 130. I think. Yeah, school just started up, getting a bit warmed up on my math again, getting into Pokemon. Yeah, it's 120, not 130. So, and then you run 1 Yanmega break, which has the attack Barrier Break for one. It does 100 damage. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness, resistance, or any other effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, which is really, really good because it hits through Jirachi, the XY promo Jirachi, and that's really helpful. You run 2 Unknown, which some people would find like really weird. Only 2 Unknown. But you get Pokemon into the discard really easily already because you open up with Yanmega Break and then you go into Vespiqueen. So you really only need 2 just as an extra little thing to get into the discard. So yeah, it's also a bit extra draw support. You run a 2-2 line of Octillery. Now, other versions of Vespiqueen will not run Octillery. The reason why you won't run Octillery is that you can bring your hand to 5 cards, and then you can play one of those cards, and then you have 4 cards for Sonic Vision. So that's really nice. You run 2 Revitalizer to get back Yanmega, Yanmega Break, Yamana, just basically anything, any of the grass Pokemon evolution lines, which is really good. You run 4 Ultra Ball. That's pretty standard. 3 VS Seeker, you don't really need 4. You run a pretty thick supporter already. You run 2 Judge, which makes you go to 4 cards in your hand for Sonic Vision. 2 Lysandre, 3 and 4 Sycamore, 4 Forest Giant Plants. These Forest Giant Plants are really key to go. Like, you can get first turn if you're going second, Yamna, Yanmega Break if you get Forest down, and then you're doing 100 to 120 every from first turn. You're on 1 Floatstone to put on your Octillery or Ariados, and then 4 DC. So that's basically this deck. So now I'm going to go into one game with it. So let me just find it really quick. So I was really interested in this deck for a while, and then like the morning before the tournament or the night before, my dad popped up with a different list, which I'm going to show you after this game. So my opponent is running a Lightning Water deck. I have no idea what this could be. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to draw my cards. I started Spinark and Shaman. I want to put up Spinark. And I definitely don't want to put down Shaman. And Pokemon has a track, and just in case some of you guys don't know about the new League Challenge rules. So the way it works is that you basically every season, which is every 3 months approximately, you can your best 2 League Challenge finishes, you get like those count. And I made a mistake there. I should not have farewell lettered. I wasn't really paying attention because I was talking to you guys about the deck. So, and then I also get a Floatstone after I attach the DCE, whatever. So, yeah. So I'm gonna Ultra Ball for Combi. So technically you could get more points from League Challenges this way, but this month, September, is the last month of this season, so to speak. So you can't, I mean, it's hard because most of the League Challenges are over already. So yeah, and all I got for this season was just 1 second place finish, which I'm pretty sure is 12 points. So, and none of this is like officially announced or anything. It's just like people who won 3 League Challenges only getting 30 points. So now I drew a pretty interesting hand. I have no idea what my opponent is playing. So this is where this deck gets kind of confusing. You have to figure out exactly what to do to get 4 cards in your hand. So I actually have multiple ways here. I think I could Forest and then play down Yanmega Break, or I could Vespiqueen DCE. And I think the best play for right now would just be the Vespiqueen DCE to just set up my Vespiqueen for later. And now I have 4 cards in my hand, so I can use Assault Boom for 120 damage. So, yeah. So, with the, technically, yeah, you can get more points. But the problem is, for most people who went to Worlds, they didn't go to many League Challenges because they figured they could just get all the stuff, like, after. All their points for League Challenges. So because they were just testing for Worlds. Except they didn't announce this till after Worlds, so everyone who was testing for Worlds and didn't go to League Challenges basically missed out on this whole season, which is really annoying. So I now have another hand, which I can get. See, it's really, really easy to get 4 cards in your hand with this deck. So I just evolve into Yanmega Break. And some of you might notice I'm not really much into this game. Because the thing is, I haven't tested this deck for a while. I'm really more interested in, once we get to the other decks, that I'm going to be having quite a bit of fun doing this video. And just to say, the other decks are Vespiqueen, Zoroark, and Volcanion. So my opponent is playing an Ampharos Magnezone. What does an Ampharos do? Gigavolt 80. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. It's not that good. You really hope you flip tails. I guess you would run it with like Trick Coin and stuff. But I don't think my opponent's deck is that good. So I'm going to draw, play down Unknown, use Farewell Letter to knock out my Unknown. Draw. I got Forest of Giant Plants, which I'm not going to play down, because if he plays down a Stadium, I want to be able to bump it, so I'm just going to play down the Klefki and Wonder. And my opponent concedes. I was going to win that pretty much no matter what. So now it's time to get into the fun decks, which are still really good. So next we have Yanmega Zoroark. So here you go. Here's the list. You run 4 Shaman here instead of the 2/2 line of Octillery and 2 Shaman. You run a 3/2/1 line of Zoroark. You run 2 Zoroark, and Mind Jack is really helpful against Speed Ray, which you already do fairly well against with Wonderlock, but it's just to oomph that matchup a little bit forward, and I just really like it. It's really solid against like Mega Sizer, which I will do a video on once we get back into Standard. Yeah, this will be my last Standard video because regionals are coming up, and most of the Standard League challenges are already done. So here's just a couple of decks that are like nice and handy for picking off some points for League challenges. And then you run the 4 Klefki. Oh yeah, you run the 1 Zoroark Break only for the HP. You don't run any Dark Energy to use Foul Play. That's really helpful because then Mega Sizer 2-shots the Zoroark Break. And Mega Sizer is also an extremely viable deck. I would run it with Puzzles and Garb. It's just really solid. I don't have it built and I haven't done any testing with it, so I don't think I'm gonna do. That's why I didn't do it in this video. So then 4/4 line of Vespiqueen, 4 Unknown, and this deck runs like 6 less Pokemon than the other one, except it still gets hitting those high numbers with Vespiqueen pretty fast. You're on 4 Acrobike. This is one of the things that helps you get high numbers because you can discard a card or discard a Pokemon. 2 Revitalizer still, 2 Special Charge. This is really key because the thing is you only run 4 DCE. All your attackers use DCE. And this is what's a little bit better about the Yanmega deck is that it doesn't completely rely on DCE, but it still is pretty good, even though it uses a bunch of DCE. So 2 Trainer's Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Via Seeker, and you only run 2 Trainer's Mail. You really don't need 3 or 4. 2 Lysandre, 2 N, and 1 Pokemon Ranger. And it's pretty obvious why you run this. You run it for Garantina just to be able to play down your DCEs. 4 Sycamore, 1 Force of Giant Plants. This is really helpful because you can Forest, Revitalizer, back Combi, Vespi, play it down, DCE, and then you're hitting again. And 2 Floatstone to slap on your wonderful Zoroarks here so you can, stand in and just move all around the board. And 4 DCE. So, also a quick note. Oh, wait, yeah. If you're running Dark Energies, Moonless Madness can be really good. Also, Speed Dark is an extremely viable deck for Standard. So, yep, I'm going to get into a game with Vespi Zoroark. And I'm actually going to cover one other deck as well that I haven't played for a league challenge, but I really do like. And the only reason I didn't play it for a league challenge is because I didn't have the cards, because it cost like a massive amount of money, because so many new people have been coming in and playing Pokemon, so prices have skyrocketed. And also, some of you guys might already know about the dual battle box thingamajig that's coming out. It's actually pretty good. It comes with one VS Seeker. I think it comes with Karen, and yeah, it's really worth it. So I didn't get an amazing start here, but I am playing against Mega Mewtwo, Mega Mewtwo is an extremely viable deck. It's really interesting, and it's different to play against than any other deck in format. So I'm just gonna play down Unknown. Just Acrobike, discard. Wow. I'm gonna discard the Sycamore. Cause I don't. Oh wait. Oh, whoops. Whatever. It was a hard choice anyway. So I'm actually gonna Floatstone the Unknown, so I can retreat and Farewell Letter with it. And then I'm gonna bench the Klefki and Sycamore. So yeah. I haven't done a ton of testing lately, but I am really liking this format. It's really interesting. So I'm going to grab the Trainer's Mail. And then Trainer's Mail, hopefully, okay. That's okay. Grabbing Ultra Ball. And then Acrobiking again. Grabbing Combi. Now I'm going to Farewell Letter. Farewell Letter. And bench Combi. Ultra Ball away a Ultra Ball Shaman. Combi for Zora. Right there. Bench the Zora. Retreat into Combi. And then Farewell Letter. So many Farewell Letters. Draw and drew Shaman. Okay, now I'm going to bench Klefki and just pass. And the reason why I bench the Klefkis is just in case he ends me. So I just have them there so I can Wonderlock. One thing you have to be really careful about against Mega Mewtwo is their Garb. If they get Garb out, you can't Wonderlock. So you want to Lysandre up those Trubbishes. If he Ultra Balls for a Trubbish, I can point it out, whatever. But you want to Lysandre up those Trubbishes, knock them out before they become Garbodors. And in this situation, I think I would grab, Mewtwo or maybe a Trubbish, but I have a feeling he doesn't have Trubbish because I think he would have grabbed it, but I don't know. So, my opponent setups for 5. Trainer's Mail. For an N. And you do have to be really careful about damage change. Damage change can actually be really annoying if you're not careful. So yeah. And my opponent uses Parallel City on me. That is actually really annoying. So I'm gonna get rid of the combi, and I guess I'm gonna have to get rid of one of my Klefkis. Oh, that's why he Lysandred up the Shaman, so I couldn't get rid of the Shaman. Oh, that's mean. I'm gonna attach the DCE to Shaman, evolve, and then I'm pretty sure I have an N in here. Yep. Because I don't want to Sycamore and discard all my Via Seekers, so just gonna N. Hopefully I get my forest, but chances are, yep, I'm not going to pull it off. So, Vespiqueen. What do I have in here? Oh, I do have a full Vespi line in here, so once I get it, I can. So I'm just gonna, I know my opponent can't. You know, no, I'm just gonna Sky Return. And then bring up Vespiqueen. And I actually think I might have made a misplay there. I think I probably should have attached a Mewtwo Spirit Link. I should have put the Klefki on the Vespiqueen because he might Mewtwo Spirit Link Mega Mewtwo. And then whatever it's called, not Evil Ball, it's, I don't remember what it's called. No, I don't remember what it's called, but, you guys know what I'm talking about. Mega Mewtwo Y's attack. So, yeah, that's smart. Lysandre up the Klefki and just stall, because I can't. So I can't, discard, or I can't use Wonderlock when it's active. That's really smart. Yeah, I'm gonna Ultra Ball away Vespiqueen, Shaman and Vespiqueen. Yeah. And then I'm going to grab a, what do I want? I want a, I want an unknown. I'm going to play it down. Use Farewell Letter. If I got a Floatstone off this, that would be amazing. I wasn't digging for the Floatstone really, because I can just use Mind Jack. But yeah. Revitalizer, Combi, Vespiqueen. How much damage am I doing with Be Revenge? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 120. Yeah, it is really hard to hit high numbers with Vespiqueen. Especially if they use Parallel City against you, which my opponent didn't. But that can be a pain. I'm gonna, this is hard. I think I'm gonna grab a N. Yeah, I'm gonna get an N. Neither of us have taken any prize cards, but I think I have the upper hand here, because I just have more guys set up. Although that Mewtwo could be extremely annoying if it comes into play. So I did end up actually getting a Floatstone here, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'll put the Floatstone on the Zoroark, stand in. And then the question is whether I should Mind Jack or Be Revenge. I think I'm going to want to Mind Jack here. Because 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm gonna Mind Jack. Or, no, I'm gonna Be Revenge. Yeah, I'm gonna Be Revenge. And put the Klefki onto Vespiqueen. And then I'm gonna play down another Klefki. And I love the picture of Klefki right there, just how it looks. And I'm gonna Be Revenge for 120 damage. So he's 150 on him. So this is the deck that I played for the first league challenge I went to. I ended up going 2-2, not making top 4. There were 10 seniors, or 9 seniors. So my opponent won't actually be knocking me out with Psychic Infinity. So there's that pesky Trubbish that has been benched, which is quite annoying because then I can't Wonderlock or stand in. So my opponent's going to Psychic Affinity, unless they're going to Lysandre. Yep, that is a smart play right there. Yep, bringing up the Zoroark. And damage change. Now that is nice right there. That is like perfect right there. That's exactly what you want to do. I'm going to bench Zora. Now I'm in bad shape. Shaman, because I'm way behind on the prize trade. So I'm going to special charge. And then I think I'm unfortunately just going to Sycamore. I'm going to... No, I don't want to Sycamore. No, I can't Sycamore. I'm going to Shaman again. And this is really bad. I do not want to bench so many Shamans because he can just Lysandre them up and just wipe me. But I really do not. Yeah. So I'm just going to Wonderlock to the Vespi. Hope he doesn't have a VS Seeker in hand. And I'm actually going to... I'm going to Be Revenge the Shaman. No, I'm gonna play down Klefki and then I'm gonna Be Revenge the Mega Mewtwo. So I actually really need to bench the shrine. I need to bump the Shrine of Memories. So I actually think that was a mistake. Yeah, that really was a mistake because he can use damage change straight into, and he gets the Garb. Yeah, I'm going to lose this game pretty badly because he can just damage change into, yeah, see? And all it does is that it, oh wait, yeah, damage change also goes through. So I'm gonna lose this, so I'm just gonna concede. So Mega Mewtwo is also extremely viable, but my personal deck of choice for the standard format is Volcanion right here. So this is the exact list that I ran for the League Challenge. I went 3-1. My one loss was against a Speed Darkrai deck, but the Speed Darkrai is a really good matchup. It's just I dead drew. It's one of those decks that you can't dead draw against, otherwise you'll lose. And I dead drew no draw supporter for like 3-4 turns, so he just got ahead of me. If I didn't dead draw, then I would have won and went 4-0 and won the tournament. Instead, I just got second. But we got we run 2 Shaman EX. Those are really helpful. Some lists run a Hoopa. I don't. You run 4 Volcanion. Now, as strange as it might seem, this is your main attacker. It's not this guy. This guy's your main attacker. Who cares about this guy? This guy's really good. So for 1 fire, he has Power Heater, which does 20. choose two of your bench Pokemon. Attach a fire energy from your discard pile to each of those Pokemon. And then for 3 fire, Steam Artillery 100. This may seem really bad, but you got Steam up. Once during your turn, you may discard a fire energy from your hand. If you do, during this turn, your basic fire Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage. And for 2 fire, 1 colorless Volcanic Heat, 130, this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. But you can negate that with Pokemon Ranger. So you can use Volcanic Heat twice. So we run 4 Volcanion and 4 Volcanion EX. I would not even touch this count. You want 4-4. I run 3 Energy Retrieval. These are really helpful to grab back the 2 basic energy. 2 Escape Rope. That's also really good. Just as a switching card, and also so that your opponent has to go into something else that's not their main attacker that you can just knock out, like a Shaman or Garb. Garb is another real problem. That's why you run 2 Lysandre, 4 VS Seeker. You run 3 Max Elixirs. Now, this is what's really interesting. So, some decks don't run Max Elixirs, some decks run 4. I feel you don't need 4, and you need Max Elixir. You 100% need Max Elixir, actually. I've been playing. It's really good for mid-game, just getting back and powering up, and early game too. So I feel you need that. And 4 Max Elixir is kind of just an overkill. You can use it for different things, which I did use that one slot to add a second Faded Town. Run 3 Trainer's Mail, not 4. You don't need 4. 3's fine. Run 4 Ultra Ball. That's just a staple, actually. 4 VS Seeker. You run 1 Fisherman. Now, the list my dad ran didn't run Max Elixir or Fisherman. He didn't do that well. So, I run 1 Fisherman, and I ran 1 Fisherman, too. So, there's literally actually nothing I would change with this list. I really like it. So, you run the 1 Fisherman for late game. Late game, you need energy. Fisherman, 4 into your hand, steam up, attach, Volcanic Heat. You can use 3 steam ups and then attach Volcanic Heat for 190, put a Fighting Fury Belt, 200 damage. So you're just hit, wiping them out. Or Steam Artillery. So Fisherman's just really good late game in general. You run 2 Lysandre, 3 N, and the 2 Lysandre is really good for bringing up Garb. 3 N, 2 Rangers. Some lists run 1. I think you really need 2 to negate the Volcanic Heat effect. You run 4 Sycamore and 2 Faded Towns. Some people run like Parallel City and Skyfield. I run Faded Town, which is a really overlooked stadium, actually. It's actually fairly good. At any time between turns, put 2 damage counters on each Mega Evolution Pokemon. So it's really helpful against like Mega Mewtwo. And some other stuff that people run are, I'll just show them to you really quick. Flareon EX, which I actually really like in this deck. I don't run it because you don't really need it. You can just use Volcanion. And what it does, Flash Fire, you can move Fire Energy, and Blaze Ball is Keldio's secret sword, but for Fire Energy. And you can read it right there if you don't know. So, and then the other one is Entei. And what's interesting is that you might think they're talking about the one that makes you attach 2 tools. Oh, how do you spell Entei? Entei, is it like that? Yeah. You might think they're using, oh wait, well this is the only one legal, so never mind. But, Entei, you run this for Speed Ray. It has Combat Blaze, 20 plus. This attack does 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So it's basically a worse version of Zoroark. But the thing is, it does have it's fire and not like some just DCs. And it's a basic, and it has more health. So that's basically And then it also has Burning Roar, which is kind of interesting. Discard the top 4 cards of your deck. If any of those cards are fire energy, attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So that's actually fairly helpful. But back to the Faded Town. So yeah, this is really helpful against like Mega Mewtwo, Speed Ray, all those megas to just help you hit the numbers. Because Volcanic Heat, its max is like 230. No, 230 is its max. But the thing is, you need 4 Volcanions, a Fighting Fury Belt, 4 Steam Ups, and then a Volcanic Heat, which is like crazy hard to hit. So if you just get 3 Steam Ups, which isn't as hard, but it's still kind of hard, you'll do 200, and that's 220 with the Faded Town. So this is just really helpful. On 3 Fighting Fury Belt, 2 Floatstone. These Floatstones are really awesome. Attach them to Shamans or Volcanions. And the 3 Fighting Fury Belts, you don't attach as much to Volcanion EX unless you are playing in Speed Darkrai, then you really want to attach them to Volcanion EX. Usually attach them to the mini Volcanions, because then they're going to have 170 health, which is just 10 less than Volcanion EX, which is really nice. So you're on 2 Floatstone and 12 Fire energy. Some lists run 13. I think that's just an overkill. Did I change anything? I don't think whatever. So yeah, let's go straight into this deck. So I did cover 3 decks. I'm going to cover 1 more, which is Xerneas Break after this, and then that's pretty much going to be it for this video, the last video for Standard. So my opponent is going first, and it looks like they're playing Greninja, just judging by the coin and the sleeves and stuff. So I started Volcanion EX, and I'm going to be way more into this game because I really like this deck. So, yep, Greninja, I guessed right. Just the water stuff and the Froakie coin, pretty obvious. But, oh, Archie's. Wait, is Archie's really legal? Yeah, Primal Clash. I was just like, wait, is Archie's legal? Well, yeah, because Maxie's is legal. I don't know what I was thinking. So he's running Bursting Balloons. That's a good thing to note. So my opponent is mulliganing a lot, as Greninja does. But he's only running like 4 or 6 basics. Dive balls. He runs water energies naturally. He runs Greninja breaks. Whoa. And Trainer's Mail. And he just concedes right off the bat. That's kind of weird. Greninja is actually my worst matchup at the League Challenge. I did beat it round 1, but that's only because I got Steam Artillery which does 100 turn 2 against an Octillery while he has nothing else on the board. So, yeah. So I'm going to go into 1 more game. Maybe 2 if this game is as quick as the last. So, yeah. There you go. Just took a little bit. So, my opponent might be playing a Xerneas deck. That's all I'm thinking about. That's all I can figure out. See the Xerneas sleeves? Yeah, that's all I got. So I started Volcanion. It's pretty good. There are better starts. And actually what I find doing with this deck is more just power heatering to power up. And then, so my opponent started Shaman. That explains everything about his deck. So I'm just going to Ultra Ball, grab and this is like a situation where Hoopa would be really helpful because I could grab a Shaman and 2 Volcanions. But I don't run Hoopa, so Um, Sorry if the audio is cutting in and out a little bit. I'm just having a bit of trouble. I'm using this new microphone, so I'm just having a bit of, it's just being slightly. So I didn't really get anything this turn. I didn't get any. So that's kind of annoying. And I don't know if the audio is cutting in and out. It might be. It's like the hearing the music for the game is cutting in and out for me from the headphones, so I don't know. But whatever. So my opponent is playing Gardevoir Xerneas Break. So I am going to be showing Xerneas Break Garantina after this. Xerneas Break Gardevoir is the other version that you could run. So if you like Xerneas Break, keep an eye on this deck. Maybe figure out the list. If I can see the list, I'll show it to you guys. My opponent gets a fully powered up Gardevoir. That's annoying. So he does 100 for 2. That's actually fairly good. And then I'm not sure. Actually, I think I know which. I'm pretty sure he's running. Well, he's running the Despair Ray one. That's for sure. So the question is whether he's even running Xerneas. If he is, then I'll show you guys the list. If it turns out, or if I can see the list, I'll just show it. So yeah. So this is, as I said before, this is going to be my last standard video, but I will sure be making more in the future. So I'm going to attach to Volcanion, and if I had like just one Volcanion, this would be so good. But I miss it again. So there's nothing I can really do about it. So I'm just going to Power Heater for 20 damage. Not really that much. Kind of annoying, but whatever. My opponent Trainer's Mails, Skyfield. So actually the Faded Town will be mattering in this matchup. And my opponent plays now one of the...
So guys, I apologize, my recording just stopped. I don't know why, it just stopped randomly. So you missed a little bit. He just kind of, my Gardevoir hit me. It was annoying. So yeah, so he used Despair Ray, knocked down my Volcanion. So now I'm in a lot of trouble. So, now I think I'm just going to, yeah, I'm just going to Sycamore. And I just dead drew this game. So, I think I'm just going to be done with Volcanion. And this video is actually going a little bit longer than expected. So I'm actually going to end it right here. I'll show you guys my Xerneas Break list really quick. You guys can just look at it, pause it, take a photo, whatever you want. Here it is. It's nice. I like it a lot. So here it is. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. My next couple of videos will be like all about, regionals decks like Size Tina, Raikou Eels and stuff, and some decks that are being a little bit overlooked, like Yveltal. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.